Today we're going to speak with our tech lead Hodder, and he's going to take us through React Native. React Native is a mobile application development framework developed by Facebook. And if you're planning to develop a mobile application anytime soon, then this show might be just for you. So Hodder, you're the tech lead at Prototype. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about what you're doing on your day-to-day at Prototype?
Basically, day-to-day what I do is to make sure that the code that we're developing is following the best industry practices in terms of standards and the way it's written and which technologies are we using. I also try to find new ways of implementation and new technologies.
I know one of the technologies that you're exploring quite heavily right now, it's like React Native. So can you tell us a little bit about what is React Native and how you use it right now?
React Native is a technology developed by Facebook. It's built on the React.js technology, which is a way to build mobile applications. It's built on JavaScript, so it uses JavaScript, and it's also built on React methodologies that proved its self-worthiness in the web scene.
So which companies are using React Native right now?
First, Facebook. So they've been using it in their own applications, mobile applications. Instagram, for example, have built their full application with React Native. Many more, Airbnb, for example.
So it seems like a lot of the big players are moving on to using React. Is it suitable also for like your average business, that wants to get into the mobile space?
You don't need any platforms or any licenses or any IDE to actually start writing it. It's fully open source, so Facebook fully open source technology, and it's easy to start writing with because mainly it's built with JavaScript. So if you know JavaScript, you can start writing React Native.
So it's easy for developers to learn basically the language. Okay. So React Native, the main differentiator is that it actually produces the native code. But how is this different from HTML5 for Pro?
React is basically not a hybrid. What React Native does is actually it renders the JavaScript code and it compiles them into code that runs on the native applications. And there's something called the JavaScript bridge that connects between the native code and the JavaScript code. The performance is one of the best in the market. You can actually use your own native code, and if you have an already existing applications written in native, you can port the code to React Native easily because you can just import whatever native class you already have written.
Right, everything you said so far is positive, but are there any challenges that you actually see in terms of developing on React Native?
The development is very quick, so you need to always be updated on the new changes that's coming, and Facebook have been very nice with developers about this because they've been depreciating the technologies they want to remove like 3 or 4 releases before they actually do.
But obviously it can also happen that they change quite significantly. So how would you see this with React? Do you see this happening with React as well? Is there a risk that all of a sudden you have to invest a lot into redeveloping certain aspects of it?
Well, React Native is not fully new because it's built on top of React.js. So they talk about what kind of technologies are going to change later, so that they depreciate them first and give you solutions to actually move your code from the old version to the newer version. They know at this stage that a lot of applications are actually depending on React.js and React Native. They cannot just change everything and move on.
You just mentioned there is React JS, of course, which is kind of like the web counterpart of it. So how easy is it actually to have something that's on React Native to port it to React JS or the other way around? Is there a lot of reuse that you can do?
Yes, because the only difference between a React Native component and a React JS component is the actual render view. So React JS will render HTML, but for React Native it will render views that used on native. So if you just change the render component of it, you can reuse a lot of the code between the two. JavaScript has been taken over the internet, so it's now on the front end, it's now on servers, it's now even in IoT. Learning JavaScript technologies like React.js and React Native now is proving itself to be a very worthy investment for startups and for even big companies.